Well, it seems to be working, I think. Well, I doubt there's anybody that's going to come in. Just some thoughts I wanted to share with you. I've been hearing lately this phrase called paying it forward. And I wanted to give my take on it. You know? Let me see. Oh, there's the chat. I haven't streamed in so long that I've practically forgotten how. As I was saying, there's this phrase I've been hearing lately called paying it forward, and it largely has to do with the comic book community. You know, someone who does something for someone else, such as maybe send a big box of comic books to someone else. That type of deal. I'm not disputing that. No way. I was wondering about that phrase. Hey, Mark! Welcome! I was wondering about that phrase recently when I was walking down to a local store. It's called Medical Art Supplies. And what I needed was one of these. I take medication. And one of my medications is so small that I need something like this to split it in half. And this, I think that was this past Monday, not the 24th, but the one before it. Anyways, you want to know? I'll show you one of my typical days. I take medication 5 times a day, 7 days a week, and this is what I keep them in. This is one day. Anyways, I started down to the Medical Art Supplies store to get one of these, and I started thinking about my mom. Right, Mark? It's a pill cutter or pill splitter. I had misplaced my own, which I try not to do stuff like that, but it happens every now and then. My mother also takes a good bit of medication. Some of her pills, I think, used to be, stuff that she had to split, and some stuff that she didn't. So I decided to call her and pay the information forward, and told her after I had left the store that I actually found one of these, and should she ever need one of these again, where she could go, the Medical Arts Supplies store here in Huntington. Now, I want to show you the one medication I need to split because it is so small. Okay, I gotta be careful because these are easily, dropped. This is called Transine. It's an epileptic medication. I doubt you can see this. Well, maybe you can if I hold it up this close. 3.75 milligrams. But it's really very small. What I have to do is put a whole one here for me to take at 10 p.m. and then use the pill cutter or splitter and do that. Then pull the pill out and put half in the morning. Now I know this has nothing, zero, to do with comic books. It's because I've heard that phrase, paying it forward, so many times in the recent weeks that I thought of my mom when I decided to go down there and get a new pill cutter. I want to encourage every one of you to do the same. I think basically paying it forward is just another way of saying, be nice to one another. Be polite to one another. We as adults shouldn't need to be reminded of that, but from time to time it happens. This is a different medication. This is called Falbitol. I need to place, here's 4 in the morning at 8 o'clock, then 2 in the evening, 2 in the afternoon at 3, and thankfully I don't have to split those. So I want to encourage everyone that will watch this to pay it forward to somebody in your life that's there where you live, where your brother, sister, mother, father, friend down the street. Take these principles that we use online, that we learn online, which is in itself kind of sad, and use them in the real world. This is called a brand name is Tegretol, but the name on here is very difficult to say. For some reason my mother can say it better than I. Carbamazepine, I think. 200 milligrams. I need to take 2 at night, 10 o'clock, 2 in the morning, 8 o'clock, 1 at 6, and then half of 1 at 1 o'clock, half of 1 at 6 o'clock. Also, I think paying it forward can mean encouraging people. I bet you do, Mark. You take care now, man. I'll talk to you soon. And what I mean by encourage is, some people may not believe they can do something, and you may know them better. I'll give you an example. And this is going back many years. My mother and I used to live at a different place here in the area called Piedmont Road. At that time, we lived in a house with the numbers 4022 on it. We lived at 4022 Piedmont Road. We haven't lived there in a long time. And back then, I had a pillbox that was red, and it was much smaller because I think I took less pills then. And it had slides that could, that I could pull away to get the medication out that I needed. I'm not sure how old I was at this point, but up till that time, my mother had been filling my pillbox for me. Well, she encouraged me one day, and I can't remember exactly what she said, but she encouraged me to start taking charge of my own medication, to fill the pillbox up for every day of the week. And why not? I was old enough. It was time for me. It was about time that I get more involved in my own medication. So I also believe that was her way of paying it forward. Now this one is, I don't even think my mother can pronounce this one. The brand name is Keppra, but the name on here is so long that I can't say it. I take 6 in the morning at 8 o'clock. And then 7 at nighttime come 10 o'clock. I know this is largely unentertaining to any outside of Mark Spector, who understands, who I believe understands the need for such a video like this. Okay, let's see here. Yeah. My mother was encouraging me to be a more responsible young adult. To take responsibility for my own medication. To fill up my own medicine box, because if I didn't, I might not be doing this today. I might still be depending on her, or someone else for that matter. So she was paying it forward by encouraging me, not forcing me to do anything, but saying, why don't you go ahead and do this? And we, as comic book collectors, as human beings, we can do that for others. Hey, why don't you try this? Or why don't you try that? Or, as a comic book collector, hey, why don't you try reading this? Or why don't you try reading this issue? This goes with another topic that I have swirling around my brain, and I'm not going to get into it right now because, well, frankly, it's late and I would rather have a fairly large audience when I cover this one. Alright, This last medication is called Dilantin. You've probably heard of it. A very, very popular anti-epileptic medication. 2 at night at 10 o'clock. 2 at 6 o'clock. 1 for 1 o'clock. 1 for 8 a.m. Then, now this one is bigger than the Transine, so I can hold this one like this and use my thumb to break it in half. So I don't need the pill splitter. Half for 1 o'clock, half for 8 a.m. And I'll put the rest down there in the bottle. And now my medicine box for Wednesday is filled up and ready to go. I will do the rest of the box in my front room, but I just wanted to show this and explain and share this as a way to encourage every one of you who watches this. Don't just pay it forward here in the comic book community. Pay it forward to those in your daily lives. Like I said, your brother or sister, your mother or father, or your friend down the street, or maybe the dude down the street who you talk to every now and then, but you don't know very well. Maybe paying it forward to that person would be a chance for you to get to know that dude a little bit better. Because you never know. I am a man of faith. I believe Jesus Christ died for my sins on the cross, and He rose from the dead on the third day, so it would be possible for me to be saved if I would believe in what He did for me there on the cross, paying for my sins and rising on the third day. I also believe that the Holy Spirit prompts me from time to time just to say something to someone. It doesn't have to be anything spiritual or deep or anything like that. It might just be a friendly word or a form of encouragement. That's how the Holy Spirit has worked in my life. I wait for that prompt, that little, nudge. Because if I try to do much of that on my own, if I try to be spiritual or deep on my own, let me tell you, I fall flat on my face every time. That's why I don't try anymore. Now I need to go in the other room and fill the rest of the box up for the other 6 days. So for all of those thank you Mark, I know you're already gone, but thank you Mark for joining me, and I hope you do get some rest. And for all those who will come by later on to check this out, I hope you benefit from it as well. I'm Michael for Spirit Comics. May all your news be good news.